It's happening. It's finally happening. And it's been a long time coming too. They just opened. I'm doing it. First time purchase at Bath & Body Works. I think the number one question that I receive, even since the day I started this channel back in September of last year, is why do I not review or share my analyses on Bath & Body Works candles? I think a lot of you folks assume that I have something against this company, and that's just simply not the case. The truth of the matter is I've never purchased a Bath & Body Works candle before. I've never even burned one before. And I've been trying to plan out a Bath & Body Works candle video, strictly just Bath & Body Works, for the longest time. I wanted to do it right, so I went out and I purchased an entire collection. This is a brand new 2017 collection, and according to several Bath & Body Works associates, it's called Hit Refresh. Now, sadly, I can't confirm that that's officially the title of this collection, but what I can say is, as of the date that I'm filming this video, there are 9 fragrances in total included in this collection. And I truly do have my work cut out for me, because I'm going to plow through all 9 of these fragrances. I'm going to share with you my thoughts, my descriptors, my breakdown, my sensory evaluation on all 9 of these fragrances. So people, are you ready? So real quick before we begin, I'm fully aware that on the bottom of these jars there are fragrance notes, but you're going to notice that I'm not going to be utilizing them. Why? Because they can be heavily deceiving. And I'm not just talking about Bath & Body Works here. I'm talking about all candle companies and fragrance companies. You can't underestimate the power of suggestion. And sometimes these descriptions are far stretches from the truth. You never want to take these fragrance notes too literally. My opinion, don't trust the labels, don't trust the notes, trust your nose. All right, so first on the list, we have Wild Sage and Aloe. This is the big moment. I can't do my swirl thing. It's funny because what's coming through the most isn't sage and it's not aloe. It's citrus. I'm getting a hefty dose of lemon, but more than that, I'm getting like the zestiness of a navel orange, but the brightness and the tanginess of like a clementine. A lot of citrus going on. But you know what? When it comes to sage, it's always very difficult because from variety to variety, they can taste and smell completely different. But what I can say for sure is that this is not culinary sage. This is not a sage that you're going to use in the kitchen. What do they say? They say desert sage. Okay, so I don't know what desert sage is, but if I had to classify the herbaceous notes in this candle, I would say this has like some parsley or even clover notes. Cucumber. Now that's probably the aloe that I'm smelling, but I'm getting a distinct cucumber, like the meat and the actual peel itself. But it does smell like aloe. But it smells like the fragrance world aloe. You know what I mean? Like it smells like a cologne aloe, like Barbasol shaving cream aloe. Very masculine. Some orange blossom, a little bit of floral action, and there's a woodiness here. I'm gonna say French oak, like French oak wine barrels, right? And I'm not saying French oak to sound pretentious. It's just that French oak compared to American oak is a much tighter grained wood, so it doesn't smell like lumber or Home Depot. It smells like fresh, new wooden furniture. And that's kind of what's going on here. So this is a lower intensity candle, but I really do appreciate low intensity candles. I think there's something very special to be said about a candle that can speak very softly and yet still say so much. This is a very complex candle. I don't think I fully discovered everything this candle has to say, but for the sake of time, we will move on. Great way to start this collection, Wild Sage and Aloe. Excellent. Number 2, Honey Tangerine. All right. So incredibly accurate name, at least regarding the tangerine. You know, there's a lot of spices here. This actually smells like a spiced rum, like the spices that you would put into a spiced rum. Cinnamon and clove, cardamom, caramel, vanilla, even like a hint of molasses maybe. This totally smells like a pre-prohibition cocktail. Yeah, you know, in fact, if we rename this candle pre-prohibition or like speakeasy, I think that'd be a totally appropriate name for this fragrance. And especially because of that honey side, because really that honey to me is coming through more as like an infused simple syrup that you would put into a cocktail. You know, honey has a very distinct, intense aroma. And I'm not saying this doesn't smell like honey, but if this was honey, it would be a very neutral honey. I mean, if we had to describe this, I think it would be a little bit more successful if we said like agave nectar or even a really light maple syrup. And I just have to throw this in. Do you guys remember Ecto Cooler? The late 80s Ghostbusters inspired green tangerine high C drink. Not juice, drink. Super nostalgic. I'm not saying that this smells artificial. I'm just saying that when I smell tangerine, it reminds me of that Ecto Cooler. If you have a friend who is a mixologist or a bartender, or if you're just into craft cocktails, this is one that probably belongs on your shelf. Very nice. Let's keep it going. So number 3, tomato vine. There's no mistaking this. That's the smell of a tomato vine right here. That's reminding me of like being around my father's garden. If you've never spent time around a tomato garden, the next time you're in a grocery store, pick up the tomatoes that are still on the vine, rip off one of the leaves, crumble it up in your fingers just like this, and then smell your hand. You're gonna smell this. It's a very distinct, very pungent smell, and it's very, very hard to describe the smell of a tomato vine. I guess the best way I could describe it is like a really, really intense celery stalk smell. Does that make sense? The tomato itself, I don't smell. Unless, you know, like we could say like an unripe tomato or a green tomato has that tomato vine smell and taste. So if it was a green tomato, I mean it's red on here, but if it was a green tomato, we could say that. A lot of other green herbaceous notes here. Okay, so Thai basil, yeah. I mean, it'd probably be more appropriate if I said Italian basil, but there's something about that exotic Thai basil that I'm finding right in here. But you know what? You could say Italian parsley in here. And there's a spiciness, there's spice. I've said this recently. If you're familiar with Spanish or Californian olive oil, they're very grassy and spicy. They're very green, grassy, and spicy. That green grassy is kind of coming in through those herbs, but that spiciness is coming through too. So we're getting a little bit of this olive oil thing, and perhaps like cracked black pepper. And suddenly now it's becoming this concept, right? Because we have the tomato, we have the herbs, we have the olive oil, we have the cracked black pepper. I guess all we need now is like a balsamic vinegar, right? Nothing like that in here. But there's lemon essence. So if you take the peel of a lemon and you pinch it and it spritzes that oil out of the zest, that's the essence. And that's what I'm smelling. That essence is very reminiscent of cleaning supplies. So don't let this turn you off, hear me out, but kind of like a lemon pledge. You're probably saying, oh man, it sounded so delicious, and then you just said lemon pledge. Well, although everything did sound delicious, having that lemon pledge is actually not, I don't think it's a bad thing at all, because it gives this candle a very clean side. It gives it a clean factor, which is just adding to the complexity of this candle. I think this is dynamite. I think this is daring. I think this is bold. I think a lot of people are going to be turned off by this candle, but I think just as many people are going to find this incredibly special, and it's going to recall a lot of emotions and memories for people. So with that said though, I do want to echo a statement that I said not too long ago. We have the tomato, we have the vine, we have the herbs. My question is, Where's the freshly overturned topsoil? Where's the gravel? Where's the silty clay? Where's the minerality? You have this opportunity to really go all of the way. You're already doing something that's bold. You're already doing something that's bold and daring. Why not go all the way? So the question is it that candle companies don't want to go that far? They don't want to add anything funky or weird to turn people off? They don't want to do it, or they can't do it? That's the question. Don't let this statement take anything away from this candle, because like I said, this was really, really dynamite. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this candle immensely. Let us keep on going. Number 4, Lavender Vanilla, and I can already smell it. I can already smell it. Right there, low intensity, high intensity. Yeah, so no question, lavender. But you know what? It's not crazy out of control. It's a nice, soft experience. It's not smothering the other notes. Clean, white, floral musk. Think like baby powder. Gold Bond. You know Gold Bond? It's like the medicated, mentholated powder. Yeah, you know, it's got that cooling sensation when you smell it. Although, now that I think about it, I think that cooling sensation, I'm guessing there's birch in this candle. Birch naturally has this wintergreen element to it. But if it's not birch, maybe some form of evergreen, but definitely has that cooling sensation. I'm gonna say birch though, because it's a nice, rich, robust wood smell. I do think that this candle will be very appealing to the masses. And I think that's largely due to the vanilla, the milky and sugary richness. You know, it almost smells like vanilla pudding. I almost want to say like tapioca pudding. Sugary vanilla goodness. What is very impressive, I think, about this candle is I think it's going to be equally appealing to both men and women. It may not seem like it, but you have very contrasting aromas here that go together really well. They complement each other very nice. I think the men who probably normally are not into the florals are going to be heavily attracted to that sweet, creamy, milky, vanilla, sugar side to this candle and are going to be drawn right into it. Just kind of like based on the success of Sugared Apple by Yankee Candle. I think this is kind of in that same realm. Excellent. Humble opinion, I think this is the most successful so far. This one, oh my God, I can definitely smell this from here. The odd one out of the collection. This is going to be the PRALINE, PECAN. All of these seem to be floral plants, fresh, clean, refreshing. And then you have a super savory concept. How do I know? I can smell it, but let's get our nose in there. Not messing around with this one.